Okay, hello everyone, guys. Hello everyone. How are you all? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you all? Just please comment once about the audio and video of the class. Is everything is working good, working fine? Hi, guys. Good evening. How are you? Good morning. Sorry. How are you all? Everything is clear, working fine? Yes. So today we are going to discuss about this PPB module C, that is operational aspects of core banking system environment. This is unit 43. So operational aspects of CBS environment, unit 43, module C, PPB. We are going to discuss this chapter today, the most important thing related to this chapter. First of all, let's start with the core banking introduction. Core banking solution. If we talk about the introduction, what is the core banking solution? What is the important thing related to the core banking solution? Okay, so core solution, first of all, is a platform where communication technology and IT meet. Actually, it is a environment where communication technology and information technology, they merge together and they suit the core banking needs. Information technology is all about how computer works, while communication technology is how about communication between the people. It is actually facilitating the communication between the people, right? So the core banking solutions actually is a combination of two things. It is a combination of communication technology plus it is a combination of information technology. Now, if we talk about information technology, it is all about what is computer, how the computer works. It is all about how the computer works. Whereas communication technology is all about how people communicate with each other, then it is known as communication technology. When we are talking about the communication technology, in communication technology, it doesn't only includes the computer, but it also include all the telephones and radios and faxes and other devices, right? So all the you can say all the computers, telephones, radios and faxes and other devices, these are all included in what? These are all included in communication technology. If we talk about the core banking functions, core banking function depends upon the specific type of bank. Under the core banking solution, the client software is installed at different branches of the bank. So in this core banking solution, the thing is, the client software is actually installed at different branches of the bank, and they connect the central server for accessing and updating the customer information and their transactions. So core banking functions like core banking solution, all the things, all the branches are connected to client software. So there is a there is a specified and central server, right? And all the branches are actually connected with this central server. Okay, and it's do what? It actually help in accessing and updating the information. It actually does what? It actually helps and update the information, right? So if we talk about the branches are connected to the central server through lease line and other networking technologies. So example of core banking solution, so there are different example of core banking solution like Finacle Invoices. There is TCS is using DANCS Bansys. Invoices is using Finacle. FlexCube is used by Oracles. Clear? Done? Okay, done. So this is the core banking solution. So in core banking solution, core banking functions always depends upon the specific type of bank, right? So it have a client software installed at different branches, which is connected to a main central server. Whenever there is anyone, whenever there is any customer who wants to what? Who wants to update the customer information, there is any changes in the customer bank account or anything, that update is directly done to the central server and it's reached to each and every and different branches, right? Okay, done. Now, Core banking solution. So if we talk about the functions that are performed by the core banking solution, so what are the functions that are performed by the core banking solution? So there are different functions that has been performed by the core banking solution. So if we talk about the different function, there is customer account management, there is office account management, loan disbursement and management, cash deposits and withdrawal. There are transaction management, inwards and outward clearing process, calculation of interest on advance and deposit, charges and fees applications. So these are different type of functions which are performed by the core banking solution. They help in the application of minimum balance charges, transaction charges, checks, books, charges, etc. The assets classification and income recognition, the non-performing assets management, the customer relationship management, the interface with the payment system. There are interfaces with the alternate delivery channel. There are generations of report, multi-currencies, balance sheet, profit and loss account statement, right? So if we talk about the thing, common banking, the core banking solution, there are different functions that has been provided or performed by the core banking solution. What are the different functions? These are the specific different functions which are performed by the core banking solution. Now if we talk about the flow of transactions in a core banking solution, so there are different flow of transactions in the core banking solution. So there are three main type of transactions. If we talk about the core banking solution, there are three main type of transaction in the core banking solution. We have the cash, we have clearing, and we have transfer, right? So in any core banking solution, there are three specific types of transaction. This is cash, clearing, and transfer, right? If we talk about the branches has to use the login system, and there is a user ID and password with the biometric authentication at the core banking solution terminal. Because see, every data, this is actually the data gold, yeah, digital gold you can say. All the data is actually in the core banking solution, is actually in the central server. So for accessing that central server, every one need to have a specific user ID and a password, and along with the biometric authentication, so that there cannot be any uninterpreted or unwanted interference in the central server of the banking system. Customer login through various delivery channels using their credentials. So how the customers can log in? They can use the various delivery channels for and use their credentials. Now, transactions also includes what? If we talk about the transaction, this also include various type of non-financial transactions. So there are various type of non-financial transaction in the core banking solution. What are the various type of non-banking solution? Like there is an dated account parameters, there is stock management register, there is balance inquiry, there is alert, right? So these are all the transactions which are included in the non-financial transaction. Updating account parameters, stock maintenance register, the balance inquiry alert, right? These are all in the core banking solution. So once the transaction hits the central database, the system will be validating the transaction and debit or credit a particular amount, and the message is sent back to the user at the branch. So when there is any transaction that hits the central database, so all the branches, these are connected with what? All the branches, these are connected with a central database. Yes. So once there is any transaction which is done in the central database, the system first of all validate the transaction. First of all, the system accept the transaction and then debit or credit the particular account. Then if for example there is some credit, there is debit and credit in the particular account, right? Then there is a message that is sent back to the user branches as to others whether the transaction is completed or not completed. So this is the flow of transaction in the core banking solution. Now in a core banking solution, when we are talking about this, there are some transaction which is known as end of the day transaction, and there is some beginning of the day transaction. So as the word says, beginning of the day means you have to do this transaction before starting the day, and end of the day when you have to do this certain transaction at the end of the day. So beginning of the day operation, first of all, beginning of the day processes a new transactions for the bank, right? So if you are starting the new transactional day for the bank, then you have to what? You have to process this beginning of the day operations, right? So for beginning of the day operation, if we are talking about the beginning of the day operation, there are different type of transaction which you need to have in the beginning of the day transactions. Now, if end of the day transaction for the previous day is not completed, so first you have to complete the end of the day transaction, and then only you can begin the beginning of the day transaction, right? So there are some functions in the beginning of the day operations. If we talk about some functions, there are some functions in the beginning of the day operations, like first of all, you have to start a new day. The very first thing is what? The very first thing is you have to start a new day, right? Second, time deposit processing related to interest and maturity. So there are some time processes which are related to interest and maturity. Then there are some standing instruction execution. If you have some pending instruction which you have to execute, you have to execute that also. Then you value the date of processing of the checks, right? Then you have the salary processing. If you have to process any salary, you have to process at the beginning of the day, right? Then you have to check any overdraft limit expiry. So if there is expiry of any overdraft limit, please you can check that, right? So these are all the beginning of the day transaction. But one thing is very important, that first you have to complete the end of the day transaction. First you have to complete this EOD, and then only you start the beginning of the day operations. So these are all the functions of the beginning of the day operations. You have to start a new day. You have to no, see whether there is a time deposit, and if there is any matter which is related to the interest and deposit of the time deposit, you have to follow out the complete or standing instruction. You have to validate processing of the checks. Then there is a salary processing. Then you have to expire, or you have to see the overdraft limit. If there is any expiry of the overdraft limit, you have to see that also. Clear? Now, end of the day operation. So these are some of the activities which you have to do when you are ending a new day. Okay, so if you are ending the day, what are the transactions that you have to do at the end of the day? First of all, day end activities carried out by the authorized personnel, and there should be an authorized personnel which who are properly documented and monitored through a checklist, right? So end of the day transaction, so there should be an authorized personnel first of all, and the document should be properly monitored and documented through a checklist. Second, minimum balances are calculated. Whatever minimum balances they have, they should be calculated. Product are calculated for the current account. Then mandatory reports are generated. Fallback procedures activated. Day end backup is taken. You have to record the entries in the backup register. You have to record entries in logbooks. You have to fill the report. You have to shut down the computers. Complete computer system. The data backups are taken properly and documented, and they are kept in the safe custody. Server room should be properly locked, and the keys are kept only with the authorized person. There are some generated documents which include the access logs, supplementary reports, and audit trails. These you have to do at the end of the operation. So beginning of the day operations and end of the day operations, these are important. Okay, next, basic controls. So password control, basic control. So you have the basic, if we are talking about the basic control, there are four things which you have to do under the management of the bank. The basic control says first you have to segregate the duties of each and every individual. So each and every individual should not engage in every type of activities. This is not beneficial for a working environment, right? So you have to segregate the duties. First, as a bank manager or as a bank management, you have to segregate the duty of each and every individuals who are involved. Okay, then 4 eye principle. 4 eye principle means everything which is done by one is checked by 4 eyes. Means you have to check. If you have checked something, it is checked by some another person also, because it is bank. You are doing all the things which are related to money. Okay, there's no chances of errors and fault here. So 4 eye principle means everything should be rechecked by 2%, rotations and the ownership. So these are the basic controls, right? Now, If we talk about the passwords control, so obviously these are the different instructions that has been given, that how you can create a very strong password in the banking environment. So how you can create a very strong password in the banking environment? First of all, minimum length of the password should be 8 characters. Okay, the more the better. Okay, so if it is more, it is better, right? But minimum should be 8. It should contain both upper and lower cases always. It should be a mix of letters and numbers. The password should include one special character, right? Dictionary word you have to avoid. Prevent using of previous passwords, okay? Enforce periodical changes of the password. Passwords are disabled to the employees when they are on the absence, right? So when you are on the leave, as an employee, you are on a leave, then password for you should be disabled, right? This is very important point, okay? For certain critical modules, there are multi-users and multi-factors authentications also, and password should be stored in a system in the encrypted form only. So these are the instruction that has been given, that how you should have a strong password and a strong system control in the core banking system. Now, there is a parameter file or the master file, which is also known as the master file in the core banking system. Master file means all the relevant information which are related to a particular account should be fed and stored, all the particular statements. So if there is any information, so any information of a particular account, like what is the rate of interest for this particular account, what is the overdraft limit, what is the operational limit, what is the commission charge, what nature of the account, it is single or joint, everything related to a particular account is stored in the form of the parameter or the master file, right? And when you are giving the access of the master file to anyone, it should be in the form of read only. It should be in the form of what? Read only. So if we talk about the master file for the core banking solution, there are different master files for the core banking solution that you have to create. First, you have to create a master data for accounts, which contain the information of each and every customer, the complete information, right? For there is a general purpose parameter file. There is an account type and structure for the general ledger. There are advanced interest rate applicable for various schemes. There are deposit interest rate, list of holidays, authorization right for exceptional transactions, and the type of users and their work class. So these are the parameters or the master files which you have to create when you are working in the core banking solution. These are the master files. Clear? Done? Now, obviously, there are some logical access control of this. There are some instruction that has been given that you have to manage these parameters or these files in a very logical way. Like, for example, the security police, first of all, address the specific capabilities of operating and ensure that the features are implemented. There should be a chief information security officers which implement all the security feature. You have to grant the access level. You have to, the user's access should be minimum, right? User access should be restricted to the specific application. So if you are assigned to a particular application, your access should be limited to all, okay? Limited to that particular thing. Also, file maintenance should be separate, access privilege, the password should be encrypted, methods to detect security violations, right? Modern passwords should be changed periodically. So these are all the logical access control in the core banking solutions, right? Now, if we talk about the role and responsibilities of the bank under the core banking solution, so there are different role and responsibilities of the bank. Like, you have to address the cyber threats, okay? You have to establish a good IT policies. You have to maintain an accurate accounting records. You have to record the IT challenges also. You have to conduct system by the chartered accountants, okay? So these are the roles and responsibilities of a bank in a core banking solution. Clear? So I have discussed the most important thing related to this chapter. I have not discussed the complete chapter. It is only the most important thing related to this chapter. Now, let's talk about the JIB Super Elite All-in-One subscription. So there is a very good subscription for you also. If you want to learn each and every detail of the chapter, you can enroll yourself in the JIB Super Elite All-in-One plan, in which you will get the access of all the live classes, of all the mock tests, notes, and everything under one roof. These are all the ongoing batches. We have the JIP foundation batch, normal batches, we have the selection batch, we have master batches for IE, IFS and PPP, RBWM, AFM. We have different batches. We are coming up with the selection batch also. We are coming up with the selection batch which actually starts from today, right? So if you want to enroll yourself in any of the batches, you just please enroll yourself in the JIP Super Elite All-in-One plan, in which you will get the access of each and every classes here, right? And there is a very good discount on the occasion of Mahakumbh. There is a flat 49% off which is going on the JIB Super Elite All-in-One plan. This offers end on 19th of January, right? So if you want to enroll yourself, just use this code SPL. If you are using this code SPL, you will get a flat 49% off on the JIP Super Elite All-in-One plan. Clear? So thank you so much everyone whoever has joined this session. Thank you so much. If you have liked this video, if you have understood whatever I have taught you, just please like and share the video to the maximum you can. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, it's a request guys that please subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon. Thank you so much everyone whoever has joined this session. Thank you so much. Just please like and share the video to the maximum you can, because see, this is a very important and the new thing, and you can say it is a new channel and we need support from all of you. This is a new channel in terms of we want to provide all the classes especially to those students who are comfortable in English medium language. So I request all of you to just kindly subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon, okay, to get notified every time whenever there is any new classes that is running on this YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care everyone. Bye bye guys. Bye everyone. Take care.